हेलो एवरीवन, आई एम एट फ्लिपकार्ट्स मलू फैसिलिटी इन बैंगलोर और यहाँ चल रही है फेस्टिव सीजन मतलब बिग बिलियन डेज सेल की तैयारी। फ्लिपकार्ट क्या क्या टेक यूज कर रहा है इस सेल में, क्या क्या एआई यूज कर रहा है, क्या वर्क रेट है, क्या सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी प्रोसीजर्स हैं, यही सब जानने मैंने दिल्ली से पकड़ी फ्लाइट और मैं आ गया बैंगलोर। सो लेट्स बिगिन। आई एम श्योर आपके भी दिमाग में काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस होंगे कि फ्लिपकार्ट ड्यूरिंग द बिग बिलियन डेज सेल इतने क्रेजी ऑफर्स कैसे ऑफर कर देता है और एआई कैसे इनके ऐप में इंटीग्रेट कर रहा है एंड इतने बहुत सारे ऑर्डर्स पूरे इंडिया में कैसे डिलीवर करता है। सो यही सब क्वेश्चंस पता लगाते हैं विद मिस्टर जयेंद्रन वेणुगोपाल एंड मिस्टर प्रणव कुमार तिवारी। So I have with me Mr. Jeyandran Venugopal. He is the Chief Product and Tech Officer at Flipkart. Welcome to time, sir.
My pleasure.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So tell us something about your Flipkart journey, sir. How long have you been working here? How has it been?
Yeah, it's been a terrific journey. I joined the Flipkart group in 2017. Initially, we were working with Myntra, which is a group subsidiary of the Flipkart group. And then about a year and a half later, I moved into Flipkart. And over the last several years, I've been doing this role that I'm in. So it's been a wonderful journey. I've seen platform scale multiple times, customer base grow to hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Lots of learning, lots of fun. It's been fantastic.
So Myntra, you said. So both brands, Flipkart and Myntra, have different key products. How are you managing them?
So
from Myntra to Flipkart?
Yeah, Myntra is of course a very fashion-focused brand. It's a lifestyle-first sort of a platform, right? So, and Myntra has a very loyal following among people who are fashion-forward, and it's generally had a very loyal crowd of brand followers and others. Of course, Flipkart is a horizontal commerce platform, right? You get lifestyle, fashion, but also every other category you can imagine. Electronics,
devices, everything.
Electronics, large appliances, devices, fashion, of course.
But it's been good.
Many more. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Alright, so we know everything about Big Billion Day sale, but it's nice to hear it from you. Can you tell us about the day, the sale date, the time, and the early bird sale? When is it starting?
Of course, so you will already see on the platform a call out that says big sale of small things. Is like a event that we are running building up to the Big Billion Days. The Big Billion Day event itself, which is the marquee sale event that we run, is actually starting on the 26th for early access customers.
Okay.
And on 27th for everyone else.
26 for the premium Flipkart Plus customers, right?
Yeah. Early access you can get through various mechanisms. Of course, if you're a Plus customer, then you get early access as well. But there are other mechanisms also. There are engagement concepts on the platform. You can engage and then you will get unlocked early access privileges and all of that. But yes, that's how the...
so are there any new features coming to the app ahead of the Big Billion Day sale? Are you planning something for the app?
Lots and lots of them. Every year we plan a whole slew of customer-facing features. I can maybe talk about a few of them. Yeah. On the customer side, one of the features that you can see on the app even now live is there are certain products that generate a lot of excitement in the community. Like they know that they'll get the best possible deals anywhere in e-commerce on the Big Billion Days. These are for like really marquee hero products, right? And the biggest sales of the year so far. So what happens is many times the inventory is very limited for some of those very high discounted products, right? So customers have a problem there that I have to remind awake at midnight when the sale opens to buy them and all of that. So we heard that feedback, and now we have launched a feature called Price Lock. Price lock, where if you decide ahead of time that you want a certain product, maybe it's a mobile phone that you have really been looking forward to buy during Big Billion Days, or maybe it's a laptop or anything else, an appliance or something. We will tell you what the indicative price would be, so you can kind of make up your mind on, hey, is this a really good value for me, and do I want to lock that in right now?
You can lock the price.
Lock the price now, and we guarantee that you will get the lowest price of the sale. if you lock the price. And when the sale opens, you have 48 hours within which you can come and redeem your
And what if
price
I
lock.
don't
You
buy
can
the
cancel
product?
it. You can cancel it.
No, what if I don't buy the product within 48 hours? Then
No,
the price will be unlocked.
yeah, then you don't get the price lock capability. You are given a 48-hour window after the sale opens for you to come and redeem it at the lowest price of the sale, without worrying about it being stocking out because of inventory or anything else, right?
What are your plans on Flippy? So I have tried Flippy. It's 1 year ago, and I tried the chatbot. I asked it a few questions such as tell me the best deals on smartphones and tell me the best deals on budget smartphones. But the result was the same.
Okay.
So are you planning on improving your chatbot?
So we continuously keep improving the chatbot. We do actually get.
Does it have the enough data?
We do, of course, use all of the consumer data that we get to help train the model, refine the responses, and all of that. So I don't know, maybe the best deals where the best budget phones also. I don't know this unless I know the specifics. But generally, I can tell you that we measure consumer feedback based on how often consumers are engaging with the bot, as well as how many queries in a session that they do with the bot. So we can see both of these numbers actually increasing over time. And we also measure things like monthly active users and all of that for the product. It is already well north of 10 million monthly active users who are actively using this Flippy assistance in various parts of the purchase journey. But now we have introduced assistant in various flows within the purchase journey. For example, if you're on a search page and you're scrolling past a certain number of results, then contextually the system knows that, look, maybe you're not finding what you're looking for. So it'll put an interjection there with a certain pre-populated questions asking you, hey, can I help you find what you're looking for? Are you looking for A, B, or C, etc., right? To initiate a conversation, and then you can enter it from there. Similarly, on a product page as well, you may have questions about the product, right?
It's live.
You can use it. So you can actually ask any questions about the specifications of the product. It will help you understand jargons used in a product in an easy to understand way.
What's the source of Flippy?
So we use a combination of in-house models, some engineering work that we have done to route the queries based on a combination of like complexity of the query, speed of responses that we expect to have a seamless user interaction, and other considerations between our own models and commercial API.
There are headlines that Flippy is powered by ChatGPT. Is that true or not?
So we do use OpenAI endpoints as well as one of the components in terms of the overall Flippy architecture, but that is not the only bot that we use. We use open source, the only LLM model that we use. We use open source models. We use what we call as fine-tuned or task-specific trained models that are built on open source by Flipkart. Yeah, so we call it FKGPT. We have our own versions of the GPT models as well that are built on top of open source. So we use a mixture of models, and that's how the entire end-to-end architecture is put together. It's not like we take everything and pass it through to OpenAI endpoint. That's not how it is.
So at the warehouse level, what kind of tech or maybe AI do you use? Is there any AI integration throughout the whole process?
Of course, I'm sure you would have seen our automated tugboats.
Yeah, I saw that, but they are AI powered.
So automated guided vehicles, etc., right? So our element of low cost, high productivity automation, you cannot call it as AI powered entirely, but these are parts of the overall efficiency and productivity tooling for the warehouse. To come to your specific AI question, we use, for example, computer vision systems to check in packaging desk. For example, we capture video feeds of packaging that is happening, and that will help us catch errors. So because the packers actually scan and before they pack a product, right, the system knows what is the actual item that is supposed to be getting packed, right? So if there is any issues, we can see it. We have in a lot of our sortation facilities and others, we have X-ray machines, and we use computer vision algorithms on the X-ray machines to detect whether a package is carrying anything that it should not have, right? Like maybe any dangerous goods, like we are not supposed to list or sell things like knives and stuff, right? These are prohibited items. So we don't want any of that actually coming up in marketplace packaged from our sellers, right? Packaged boxes So we use X-ray machines along with computer vision algorithms on top to do quality checks, prohibited items check, and fraud detection. For example, we don't want, for example, empty boxes being sent from either the customer or from the seller.
AGV is the most advanced equipment in this warehouse.
I wouldn't say so.
It's working on its own.
Yes, it is an
apart from this, I haven't seen any other equipment or any other machine that's working on its own.
Across a lot of our large facilities, we have extensive automation. Like for example, we have conveyor belt based automation systems where there are automated robotic arms that actually, as the scanned packages keep coming on the conveyor belts, will kick it out into the right lanes. Wherever we have grocery warehouses, for example, we have automated storage and retrieval systems. That so basically, it's like a high density stacking storage. Where you cannot have humans reach very high floor to ceiling if you want to pack and maximize your density of storage and retrieval, right? So the totes on which the items are now scanned in are packed into the storage using automated system that just takes it up, slots it into any open slots, and then whenever you need it, it'll automatically retrieve it and bring it down so that you can break the bulk or take it out to take it to the forward center from which we pick and fulfill to customers.
Speaking of the robots, do you think that AI or robot can replace humans in this warehouse level?
So we don't think of it as a replacement for humans.
But the AGV, it has replaced humans.
So earlier what would have been done is that efficiency that comes from being able to do bulk movement of goods from one station to the other would not even have been possible, and therefore you would have had to have people move across and then keep taking smaller volumes from let's say from the picking stations to the merge stations to the packing stations and all of that stuff, right? That way it is optimizing the human workflow. It is actually helping humans do less manual labor and increase the throughput of work.
So you're saying robots might not replace humans, but they can bring precision and convenience.
Correct.
Are you using any kind of tech or AI to the shipments, like to ensure quick delivery?
Yeah. So in our last mile hub, this is where what we call as beat planning happens, right? So the beats are basically where a particular rider is assigned to a loop where they can go and do a whole lot of consumer deliveries and come back, and we may schedule multiple beats in a day for a rider, right? So in any given day, orders come on the map from various locations within a particular hub's coverage area, right? So how do you now decide the right beat plan that optimizes for time of delivery, total distance traversed by the riders, and so many other factors, right? So that entire planning process uses a combination of both machine intelligence and human intelligence. The hub in charges and the riders have a lot of on-the-ground intelligence about, okay, maybe the system does not know that there is a very narrow alley, or maybe it's not very safe to traverse there because there are a lot of potholes or whatever, right? So it is AI assisted, and human intelligence is also plays a role in it, and then the beat planning happens. One of the most important uses of AI in last mile is around addresses. So in India, as you know, addresses are very, it's not like developed economies like the US where you have a grid system in most cities, right? Where you can say, okay, this particular numbered grid and this east, west, north, south, etc., right? We regularly see addresses that are like, oh, behind this temple, near that Kirana store, kind of a thing, right? So there is no way for you to like directly put it on a Google map and then find the exact pinpoint address, right? Because we do several million shipments every day, we have on-the-ground intelligence when we go and actually deliver a shipment, right? So we have collected all of those data points in our system, and we have developed something called Address Intelligence Service that actually today is given a string of letters, words. It is able to predict the latitude, longitude of the address with very high precision.
I want to talk some things about the app. Are you familiar with the exchange offer feature?
Yes, product exchange.
So, whenever someone goes to buy a product, let's say a phone. If I am buying a 30,000 phone and the Flipkart's showing me that I can get 25,000 of an exchange discount. Correct. But that 25,000 I'll only get when I exchange a device pricier than the one I'm buying from Flipkart. So that doesn't make any sense. It's a big confusion among users that exchange offer है, दिख रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा value मिल रही है, but they don't end up getting that value. So what's your take on that?
Of course, the high priced electronics or any other large appliance or anything, right? It depreciates in value very, very quickly, right? So it may be that the MRP of that product is what it is, right? But doesn't mean that 1 year later, if you try to sell anywhere or exchange it anywhere, you'll get that MRP anywhere, right? And I still want to actually upgrade my phone. I want to get the latest flagship. I want to get to the next best spec that has come out, new technology feature that has come out. So then some people, it is their choice, right? They choose to upgrade. But just because higher price phone is listed on exchange does not make it an unreasonable offer. So there is huge uptake of a product exchange offer on the platform. It's one of our most popular features.
So you're saying users do claim that
of course
exchange offer.
It's one of our most important affordability levers, what we call as affordability lever.
What do you do with the exchange devices?
So so first of all, when we pick up products, we have a very thorough 10-point checking process. For example, if you're turning in a mobile, we can get a very detailed report using a system that we have internally. It's a diagnostic services tool that we have internally through our company called Jeyandran. We run that, so we know exactly what is the quality of a phone.
What's the condition of it?
Yeah, so when we get the phone, so we are able to actually work with, through our B2B entity, we are able to work with our network of third-party liquidators and others, and we are able to sell it to them after doing sortation and grading.
Do exchange devices go into refurbished devices? Like I have seen a lot of refurbished devices at Flipkart and the price are fascinating. But again, as a user, I get these thoughts that if I buy this and it might end up like a damaged one. What's your take on it? How do you test them?
On mobiles, very recently, there may have been a very small pilot being done for refurbished products, where specifically refurbished would be called out in the title of the product as well as in the description in a very
it's in the product image also.
It's a very prominent way. It's a very small pilot. Like, I mean, I don't think it will be well less than 1% of the phones that we sell would be this, and it's a pretty new pilot.
You buy any electronics, let's say a phone from Flipkart, there's an option of Flipkart phone insurance. You give insurance to the customers. How does it work? Do you coordinate with brands for that, or do you have your own insurance team?
Okay, so it's depends on the particular brand and model, right? So in some cases like Apple Care, for example, or Samsung Care, etc., the brand itself has a Protect Promise program, right? So basically they do screen repair protection, screen damage protection, device warranty extension, other things. So of course our preferred choice is to work with the brands and their authorized device care programs, and we do that through the platform and offer that as a value-added service to the customer.
Do you have your own repair service centers?
We do as well. So there are some brands where there are brand authorized but independent service providers that are there, like for example, Flipkart itself has Jeeves F1, which is basically able to do authorized repairs with the original brand parts, and we have a tie-up with the brand and we are authorized to do it, right? So that is part of it. There are other third-party partners for other brands, for example, like Onsite Go and various others, right, which offer similar service. So depending on the brand and model, etc., we choose the right brand partner that we want to work with, and the authorized brand repair service that we can partner to offer that value-added service to the customer. And you'll be interested to know that, like, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, complete mobile protection and these sort of what we call as value-added services are a huge hit actually.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, how much AI is involved in Flipkart so far?
I mean, it's very difficult to grade on a 0 to 10 scale like that, but I would say we are somewhere on probably a 7 or 8, right? 7. Because we do personalization across the platform.
Where do you
we do Gen AI.
Where do you shop from personally?
I of course shop from Flipkart.
Flipkart.
Yeah, I was just looking at my order history.
Yeah.
Last year I placed 148 orders on the platform.
Okay, so now I have Mr. Pranav Kumar Tiwari with me. He is the Senior Vice President at Technology at Flipkart. he takes care of customer experience. Welcome to Time, sir. So कुछ बताइए अपने बारे में. How has been your Flipkart journey? कैसी थी आपकी Flipkart journey? How was it? How was the experience? How long have you been working here?
So I've been with Flipkart for about a year and a half. So this will be my second BBD coming up. और Flipkart में अपनी एज लोग BBD के नाम से काउंट करते हैं.
How was it? Like the last sale, how was it? How did you
पहला
like it?
BBD was a lot of fun. Ramping up to the scale of BBD, getting to scale the technology platform, getting to scale our supply chain to serve millions of customers a day. It's a lot of challenge and it's a lot of fun. For me, it was a new experience last year, and I'm looking forward to the experience this year.
So, sir, there was a recent news. Actually, Flipkart made the announcement that it will create 1 lakh jobs. So, how are you planning to do that? Are there going to be any layoffs or like इतनी बड़ी vacancy एक साथ एकदम से announce करना?
See, what happens is in supply chain, especially as you get closer to the festive season, there is suddenly a surge of demand. We need to serve a lot more customers per day.
1 lakh is a very big number.
1 lakh is a very big number. And if you look at this facility, you see a lot of people working here to support BBD scale. BBD नए customers आते हैं, नए orders आते हैं. That is much larger than our normal volume. And to support this, we ramp up towards creating a lot more capacity. And that both helps us scale and create a lot of opportunities for our sellers, for people who run small businesses, for a lot of people who get employed in supporting this demand.
Alright, so can you tell me the number of people that are involved in the Big Billion Days sale, throughout the sale? How many people are involved in this?
That will be 100% of Flipkart.
100%, no, like, but is there any head count do you have? Like, how many?
No, I don't know if I can comment on the exact head count. What I can comment on is that we will be increasing our capacity by an additional 1 lakh people. We'll be increasing our capacity by 11 new fulfillment centers.
Alright, so during the Big Billion Days sale, there is a massive discount on electronics, on smartphones. There's a massive discount that sometimes we can't even believe that how is Flipkart is offering this much discount. So how do you deal with brands for that?
See, we are a platform that brings sellers and consumers together. As a marketplace, we don't have the ability to intervene in pricing. However, because we are bringing such a large amount of demand to the platform, the sellers are incentivized to come to this platform and capitalize on that.
So, just because of the growing demand. One thing, so there are many complaints about the wrong product being delivered. So if let's say if someone buys a 30,000 speaker, they get a cheap 2,500 speaker. So like, what's the loophole there? Can you describe how is it happening? What's one thing that's going wrong with the delivery? I mean, if I am buying an expensive product from Flipkart, I have to trust to the brand. So how do you make up that? How do you compensate, or how do you gain the trust again?
Yeah. As a marketplace, customer trust is the most important element. So we have introduced something that we call open box delivery. You would have probably experienced that if you've ordered anything that's large value from Flipkart. What it does is, as the delivery executive comes to you, he opens the box, allows you to examine the product that is being delivered to you.
The open box policy also have some complaints that the open box delivery agents are not opening the box. They are opening a box in a very crude manner.
I think we are solving many of these things with training, as well as by ensuring that the customers are also familiar with what to expect when an open box delivery comes. To your question about counterfeits or poor products being delivered.
Wrong product being delivered.
So one of the things that that we've become extremely careful about is we have very strong, very tight processes for onboarding sellers onto the platform. As a seller gets onto the platform, we have all kinds of checks that verify his authenticity, his documents, to make sure that it's a genuine seller. We actually work with manufacturers to create brand regulations which say that if my brand's product is being sold on your platform, what are the things you need to validate? Is the seller one of the authorized distributors or not? Is the seller, does he own that inventory that he's onboarding to your platform or not? What kind of checks to perform as a part of your QC checks while onboarding the inventory? we do each of these steps.
I know you're not the right person for this, but during these big sales, आप लोगों को मिलता है कुछ as a employee discount or something people?
हम लोगों को इस big sale में 24 hours of working मिलता है for many time, and we are look forward to that.
Where do you shop from personally?
Mostly Flipkart at this
Mostly
point.
Flipkart. If not Flipkart, then
You mean personally?
yeah.
I have not thought about that question.
ओके सो सर एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन और था, एक कुछ ईस्टर एग दे दो आप हमारे व्यूअर्स को जिन्होंने यहाँ तक वीडियो देखी है, ये बेस्ट डील्स किन प्रोडक्ट्स पे आने वाली है, सो दैट वी कैन कीप एन आई ऑन इट. डू यू नो अबाउट इट?
Even if I knew about it, I wouldn't be able to give an Easter egg at this point.
Thank you. That was
Thank you.
it. So okay, lastly, can we do a round of rapid fire? You know the rapid fire. So basically, I'll ask you one question and you have to answer it without thinking much. The first thing that comes to your mind, you have to answer it. Android or iOS?
Both.
I personally use Android phone.
AI or human?
I love humans.
I think AI has its strengths, but it is not anywhere close to the same level as a human intelligence in terms of adaptability and fungibility. So it has to be both. I can't pick one.
Right. ChatGPT or Gemini?
This also I cannot really answer, right? These are all important ecosystem partners for us, and then we work across the board with many of them. Of course, we have a very important and very special strategic deal with Google. And while we do use OpenAI endpoints in some of our products like Flippy that you already know about, we have called it out in the past. We also use now Google's Gemini interfaces and especially Imagen, which is their image generation
creator, yeah.
across lots of use cases. We have already deployed some of the Imagen-based catalog enrichment use cases and others across the board, and we are closely collaborating with Google on several other very cutting edge use cases across the platform.
What's the one thing you like about Flipkart?
Oh, it's fun. It's like, despite being big, it's such a high-paced place that I can't think of anything else.
One thing you like about Flipkart?
People.
One thing you don't like about Flipkart? Don't say people.
No, I mean, honestly, I can't really even give you an answer on this, because if that were the case, right, like I wouldn't be here 7.5 years later still going hard at it and being very excited about
There should be
here,
one
right?
thing that you can say out loud. One thing that you don't like about Flipkart. So what can it be?
Honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to evade your question, but
Yeah.
honestly, I see. There is nothing stand out that I can call out, right? Like if it were something like that, an executive in the company, right? It's my job to try and change that, right? Whether it's a cultural tenet or something about people or our systems or process or anything, right? So I cannot complain about something I'm responsible for, first of all, right? And obviously I'm here 7.5 years later, and as you can see, I'm as excited as ever about upcoming Big Billion Days, about the fantastic work we are doing on the platform and all that. So it'll be very difficult for me to pick something just for the sake of it. If I pick and say something, it won't be like right? It won't do justice to the question.
Alright, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that was some discussion with Mr. Venugopal and Mr. Tiwari. That was Flipkart और उसकी Big Billion Days sale की preparation. आपको कैसा लगा वीडियो? Let me know in the comments. कुछ questions हैं, also let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon.